to another episode. Well, okay, it took 2 seconds, so it missed what I said. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. Today, we're doing a read. And I'm gonna be talking while I'm setting up, because I got some stuff to say. So the last cosmic read I did, I actually didn't even get a post. Because, I've been having some issues grounding lately, and I haven't been wanting to do readings because I can't ground as well. Because what happened last cosmic reading, yo dude, catch on fire. I can't believe I'm actually having issues catching something on fire. That is a legit first for me. Okay. I'm gonna sit here and be pyromaniac when we figure this out. It's fucking hot. Ooh. Just because it didn't catch on fire doesn't mean it was not. Ouch. So last time I didn't ground as well. I haven't been able to ground. And I actually had a message that disturbed me to the point, wow, it's just cooking. It's not even like lighting on fire, it's just cooking. That's kind of disturbing. See what I'm saying? Grounding. Grounding is important. I've been really up in my head and it's been kind of a problem. So the last time I did one of these readings, it was actually screwed me up. Like I actually lost my grounding and the message got interrupted to the point that I couldn't finish it. So, I'm going to do my best to ground. And the reason I'm doing a video now is despite me not feeling like I can ground, well, that is so weird. Why can't I get this to light? That is crazy. Anyways, I got an intuitive hit to do a reading. I'm like, well, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm not grounding well. Why would I do a reading if I can't ground? But I've also been trying to work on my intuition, so I've been trying not to ignore it. So if I'm being told to do a reading, you know what? Screw it. I legitimately haven't felt like doing one in a few days, so actually a while. So the fact that I feel like I'm doing one, I'm just conflicted. I feel like doing one, but at the same time, I don't feel like it. And that sends me into a state of confusion, in which I'm not sure I should do a reading, but I'm gonna do one anyways. That is so weird, I can't get that to light. How about this big chunky? Can I get this big chunky to light instead? Some of the rope burned, so now all my sage burnt into pieces, or fell into pieces, and I have to burn the individual pieces now. Which, as you can imagine, it's not exactly easy. Put it on some paper or something to get it to light, I don't know. Could be a spirit in my house effing stuff up. Who knows? Alright, I'm gonna ground the best I can. Alright, spirit. I'm here. I had the notion to do a reading, so please, show me what you want me to see. I don't even have a question. Like I said, I just kind of had a feeling to come do this, so I'm gonna do our typical spread. 5 of wands, 4 of wands, my apologies. 6 of wands, the Knight of Cups, the 3 of wands, and the 7 of swords. Oh, I'm not a fan of the 7 of swords. Alright, what do we got for the masters? The World, wow, interesting. High Priestess, okay. Judgment. Hierophant. And the Wheel. Ooh, wow, I actually haven't gotten the Wheel in this deck yet. And the wild card is the Temperance. Alright, let's dig right into this, eh? Crikey. Alright, we got Heal the World, which tends to be a sense of completion, a cycle finishing, the beginning meeting the end, as you can tell from the egg being wrapped by the serpent, because snakes are born from eggs. So it's showing the beginning and the end in one card. Then you got the 4 of Wands, which 4 is stability, which is fire. It's stability of inspiration, stability of creativity, stability of magic. I'm not even reading the book yet. I'm just trying to interpret it without it. Then in the card itself, you can actually see two people cuddling together watching an elegant show. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the family cycle. So the first card I pulled. Okay, so let me make sure I'm again reading this properly. Row of servants. First master on the left is the trump of the family life and the inquirer. The servant immediately below it pertains to relatives and family members. Okay, so I guess you read the master card first, and then you read the servant. I was actually going to say relatives, but that's not what it is. I'm sorry about the background noise. It's obviously beyond my control. All right. Got my Arizona tea. So as I was saying before, we have the World card. Without even reading the book, like I said, I just know that's just a sense of completion, a sense of integration, a sense of wholeness, a sense of fulfillment, a sense of I don't know where the card is. Ah, here we are. Upright. Fulfillment, completion, totality, summing up, the conclusion of a work. Coming full circle, seeing the big picture, final act, last things to be done. Well, okay, I guess I didn't even need to read the book for that one. But the Four of Wands, I could definitely use some assistance there. I don't quite know all the cards off the top of my head yet. Completion, perfection, settlement, celebration of success. Okay, well, I didn't even have to read the book for this one. As I've said, I've been working on my intuition. Conclusions of work, enjoyment, harmony, satisfaction. So whatever the F is going on in your family life, it sounds like good stuff. For you, it could be perhaps there's finally some family resolution. Things have been at a standstill. I mean, that's just how families are. It's a group of people who are bound by blood. That doesn't mean you have to like each other. It just means you have to live with each other for a time period, and then you never have to speak to each other ever again if you don't want to. That is completely your choice. But luckily, this is one of those times that it seems like it's working out. Conclusion of work, enjoyment, harmony, satisfaction. So something you did may have actually helped your family situation. Whether you came forward and apologized or simply responded to a message. I know recently I've been being told that I was avoiding something. I'm not a fan of my family, but they're still my family and I love them. However, I've just been avoiding one like the plague. Whatever, I'm just gonna talk louder. We'll just pretend it's white noise. So, you can't exactly... Can I stop channeling? I'm afraid of losing the message and not being able to pick it back up. Alright, we're gonna cast some magic. Mr. Lawn Man, please make a stand. I'm not great at rhyming off the top of my head. And I don't wish you dead. I just wish you gone. Or else your name is John. So be gone. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work. Oh well. It's because my rhymes were off. Nah, we'll just pick back up anyways. So basically, your family life sounds like it's doing good. It's doing good. But again, family... Oh my god. This is why I never use this phone. This one actually has service. But it's got a better camera. Conclusions of work. Enjoyment, harmony, satisfaction. So what exactly is being concluded? Oh, yes. Okay, so there's the Temperance card, too. Let's see what that has to do with it. What does Temperance have to say? Tower of Great Zeal, Cthulhu, Temperance. Reflection, purification, renewal, blending of opposites, health, the golden mean, harmony, and perfecting of worth. Interesting. So the way it reflects for me is like, for instance, I just took a stand in my family. For once, I finally actually opened up and I started saying things. Not like negative things, just standing up for myself and not letting them tell me who I am. And again, that always causes resistance. Well, the magic spell didn't go away. Lawn Man didn't just magically disappear. Anyways, so it normally causes resistance. And it's like, I don't hate the person, I just want them to leave me the fuck alone. So instead I ignored them, but that's avoidant. So I finally turned around and messaged them and said, just look man, I just need some space. That completed the cycle. That helped. Because then she was no longer concerned, she wasn't trying to bug me anymore. The boundaries have been set. And I may have just closed out some form of a cycle kind of thing. Blending of opposites. So whatever you did to create balance, you did something. Refinement, purification, renewal, blending of opposites. So something good, something, perhaps it was an action you did or an action. This also specifically talks about others. But I can also see myself in these cards. So it's kind of like, It's a little bit of both. It's a reflection of you and them, is what I like to perceive. So it could have been something you did, it could have been something they did. Maybe someone finally hit a realization, because normally when you set boundaries, people have issues with that. And either they wake up from it and say, oh, okay, well maybe it's actually healthy, because then it triggers a line of thought. Like for instance, another tarot reader I watched was talking about, for instance, you start taking days off of work. Normally you don't do that, but you realize you're tired, you start taking days off. Well, even though it's pissing your boss off, your boss finally goes, you know what? Maybe I need a day off. And if you weren't taking those days off, the boss wouldn't even consider taking a day off. So because of your actions, even if it may have had a bumpy result, can result in the other person actually respecting you. In fact, that's kind of a weird effed up way. You never apologize to narcissists. They see that as weakness. It's kind of weird. I know he jumped to narcissist. This just kind of came out of nowhere because it was in my head. But I actually had a couple of ladies who were super narcissistic and nasty. They were like roommates. And if you actually wanted to apologize to them, it started the fight up all over again, and they were just even meaner and nastier. It's like going to apologize was a sign of weakness. It was just silly, but whatever. So sometimes actually creating the resistance is necessary. Just letting my mouth speak. I don't really know what's coming out. In the second category, the High Priestess, which is badass energy. And then Friends, which is the Six of Wands, which actually does not look good off the card. But we will see what that is. Typically, I actually don't perceive the Six of Wands as a good card. Oh, it is a good card. Interesting. Well, the picture dictates it's not. Okay, so it says specifically, the servant under the master shows actions of something or someone. Like I said, I still kind of feel like sometimes it could be you. So, I mainly do it off energy, not just cards. So even if the energy is not necessarily in the cards, it could be in the reading. And I know that may not make sense. So anyways, the High Priestess energy. She is the moon. Ooh, interesting. High Priestess number 2. And I constantly forget what the moon means. I'm still learning the cards. Mystery, wisdom, teaching, spiritual secrets, benevolent guide, initiation, open-minded, higher consciousness. Okay. So, because we are, what it sounds like, is leveling up, essentially. Entry into a circle. Basically, it's like you've hit a new level, is what I'm getting. You've hit a new level. Just like a video game. You've been doing the practice, you've truly been working and trying and putting in the reps, as everyone says, and as overused as that is, you're putting in the reps. Well, guess what that does? That leads the blending of opposites, putting in the reps, doing the work, renewal, blending of opposites, and refinement. Which then, guess what? And by the way, this is the social life. So apparently you're going to be quite social. So you're doing the work, you're blending opposites, and it's creating victory, rewards of labor, pleasures after conflict, enjoying the spoils. Again, the card does not depict that. Triumphal celebration and success attained. Wow, so this is all positive so far. So far. Refinement. So basically, yeah, you've just been doing the work, which resulted in you leveling up, and the level up is bringing up victory and rewards. Just like a video game. Exactly like a video game. You do the work, you do the quests, you get the loot, you level up, and then you can handle more badass stuff. Here in the work life, we've got judgment. You know what's really weird is this one's popped up for me before. The exact same rating, Judgment and the Knight of Cups. This has actually happened to me before. So, let's see what it has to say. Although the Temperance is the wild card that changes everything. No, I'm looking for Judgment, not Temperance. Judgment. Reward for honor, favorable ruling, equitable. Not like I even know what that word is. Proof of innocence, just desserts. Okay, which Temperance is blending of two opposites. The golden mean, harmony, perfecting of worth. And then the Knight of Cups, which is somebody specific. So in your work life, now remember the Knight of Cups is not typically a good one. It's normally pretty manipulative. The Knight of Cups. Well, the Knights do with air, and the Cups have to do with emotions. So air of water. Interesting. Air of water. Well, if I remember this card, the dude's not necessarily a bad dude. He's just kind of sneaky. He's a little sneaky. And sometimes sneakiness isn't necessarily bad. It's the manipulating part that's not great. Knave of Cups, I'm getting close. The Knight of Cups. A young man who puts his pursuit of secrets and personal power above the welfare of others. So, not so good. This can lead him to unscrupulous conduct. Manipulation. He views others either as obstructions or tools to be used, and he displaces or uses them with utter ruthlessness. Fucking words. He hides the purpose to deceive. He does not think of himself as evil, but sees himself as clever and practical. He has scant sympathy. Wow. Scant sympathy. Scampathy. I just made a new word. He has scant sympathy for other human beings. You know, that's actually a similar message to what I had in my last reading. That was the one that kind of effed me up and screwed up my grounding sensation. So basically, it sounds like someone who is trying to hurt you in your work life just got their desserts. I don't like giving readings like this because I don't like feeding the ego. And typically, whenever judgment comes in, it's that inner kid inside that's like, like for instance, a neighbor upstairs is an asshole. Well, you see something bad happen to him, and you almost kind of enjoy it. Why? Because you were hurt. Someone did something nasty to you, so it feels good when someone suffers the same pain as you. I'm just being honest. That's just something humans like. We have grown to enjoy that. Because we're upset and we're hurt, and we want someone to hurt like us, so they know how it feels. So I don't like doing readings like this because I don't like casting judgment. I don't like being that person. I mean, I typically like to think the universe sorts itself out. Not just the rule of karma, Basically, if that dude's an asshole to me, that means the dude's an asshole to everyone in his life. Dude's an asshole to himself. Dude's an asshole to the people around him. So I can promise you, I'm not the only person who doesn't like him. So judgment tends to cast itself. These kind of things, I am also a big hypocrite of this because I've learned it. The shit that happens to you, you do yourself. If I'm being an asshole, well, guess what? Something assholey is going to happen to me. It's just how it works. So I tend not to want to cast judgment. I don't even like looking at judgment because I'm afraid it feeds my ego. However, I'm just reading what's in the cards. So, favorable ruling, proof of innocence, an elevation of rank or status, restoration or wrong righted. So something in your work life was shown. Again, you may have been accused of something. You may have had someone trying to manipulate you. But because, blending of opposites health, perfecting of worth, perhaps because of your harmony and your perfecting of worth, their manipulation didn't work. How is this one coming out? So because the person's manipulation didn't work, it looks like it's coming back on them, and you don't even really have to even do anything. So once again, someone in your life who was possibly casting judgment on you ended up getting judgment casted on them. I don't have the specifics. Like I said, when you're tapping into massive energy, it's not like I could be like, oh, Susie, Joe at work just tried to lie and say, you asked him out or something and rejected, and now he's all salty, when in reality he tried to ask you or, something. I can't pinpoint it when it's this many people and this much energy. I can just say, something at work that you felt like was unfair and unjust, which actually was, is getting resolved, and you don't even have to do anything about it, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't know if I completely believe in karma anymore, but I definitely believe what goes around comes around, and it's a different rule than karma, in my mind. It's what they call karma, but it's not exactly what I thought it was. So anyways, we're moving on to the next one. The next one is love life. This one always scares me. So the Hierophant. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't get Dagon a lot. I really like that card too. Number 5, the Hierophant. Da, 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 da. Upright. Tradition, authority, religion, commandment, code of honor, duty, history, the past, weight of president, priest, minister, church, temple, morality, or confession. And the 3 of Wands. That is not the right direction. I forget this book breaks it up by court cards. King of Discs. Number cards. Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands. Optimism, good prospects, auspicious progress, all according to plan. Established enterprise. Why did that word take me so long? Kind of sounds like love is starting to become some work here, in a good way. So what is the Hierophant energy? Well, it's Taurus. He's really grounded. Even though he's moving in the water, you can see, despite the big ocean currents, he's still trudging along. He is grounded, and the waves are unable to push him down. That, in my opinion, is authority. Commandment. Even a code of honor. Whatever is your code of honor, with the Temperance. I lost my Temperance, please. I pulled my finger out. Pulled my finger out and lost my place. Which one? 3, 5, 4, 14, 15, 16, 14, 15. There it is. Okay, so perfection, perfecting of worth. Okay, so in love life, you've been trudging along. You've been keeping your authority, your code of honor. History, the past. It's basically you're moving. You're staying grounded. I know typically the Hierophant is not energy of moving, but I'm going off the card. So you're still grounded, you're moving, you're trudging, and perfecting your worth and coming back to harmony in your love life, which is creating good prospects, all according to plan. So it could be, I guess I'm gonna have to keep relaying it to me. Me personally, I keep getting love readings that are saying someone's floating around in my energy, which is quite irritating because it's like you keep hearing they're in your energy, but they're not here. Well, the reason B is we're working on some shit. We're grounding ourselves, we're working on the history, which is pushing us forward. And because we are working on ourselves, it's giving us good prospects and opportunities. For instance, I guess the only thing I could think of is I was under the illusion, like twin flame and soulmates and stuff, like there's always just one. You have one soulmate, one twin flame. That is not true. I'm actually personally believing there's multiples. There's multiple people who can resonate with your soul. I don't know if there truly is one true person that's meant for you. I don't know. I just know. Well, let's put it this way. I was told in one of my readings, and you kind of have to discern and be careful with it, but one of my readings says the twin flame I got was not actually a twin flame, it was just a lesson. So I thought it was actually, my one, the one and only, but it wasn't. So that kind of proves there that there can be multiple twin flames, multiple soulmates. So now, because you're healing yourself, the deal is you get to see though the options are open. You're not going to get locked in. It doesn't have to be one particular person, perhaps. You've got options. You've got options in love. Why? Because you're super duper grounded and you stick to your code of honor. Even after these people who perhaps try to screw with you, you still stick to your code of honor and you don't let it turn you. Don't let it make you evil. And finally, the school. I'm probably going to say this every freaking video, but even if you're not in school, I like to think we all learn from life. So life is the school. So if it says school, we'll just categorize it as life, which is the wheel. Wheel of Fortune, I believe, is another card that means movement. Let me correct that in a second. The wheel is Jupiter, which I don't know my astrology. My book is not next to me. But I just know that boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. And as I say that, I'm having the hardest time finding this card in my codex. It's number 10, bro. Like, come on. It's like right there. There it is. Change, transformation, tune of fortune, good luck. So yeah, it's in a way movement. Evolution, act of fate, milestone, opportunity of advancement. And I remember the Seven of Swords was not a great card. A little confusing. Cups, swords. The seven of swords. Oh fuck, too far. Six of swords. Weak plan, unstable effort, half-hearted attempt, doubt, compromise, and unreliability. Interesting. How does that work? Oh. Okay. So things are moving, ways are opening, and progress is happening. Due to blending of opposites, your health, perhaps health has been a big thing, I know it has been for me. That's actually one of the lessons I've had to learn, is to take care of myself. Health, believe it or not, is a lesson. That's why they have a whole class for it in school called health class. Or at least they used to until the people took it away. They stopped teaching sex ed back when I was in school. I don't know if they still do it, whatever. I don't know if you guys still have a health class, that's not important. But health is a skill, it is something you have to learn. So how does the Seven of Swords have to deal with it? Oh, because it's unstable. It's a weak plan, it's unstable. So perhaps renewal, refinement, and perfecting. Maybe you need to refine your plan. You've got a plan, and things are working, things are doing good. But now it's at that point, as you change, as you evolve, you must advance your plan as well. You must change it and alter it. It's like, okay, kind of like a prototype. You have a prototype of a best laid plan. You build it, you test it, and then you're like, oh, well, this is where it's not working, this is where it's working, and then you tweak it and you upgrade it. Not necessarily meaning the plan was bad in the first place and you shouldn't abandon it. It's just, you just work on it. There is doubt. That is one of the things. There is definitely doubt in the plan. So perhaps maybe the plan actually isn't truly weak. Maybe you just feel like it is. It could also be a mental thing. What is the wheel? Would we say it was Jupiter? Yeah, I still don't know what that is. How about the Temperance? What are you? Sagittarius. Well, you've got me with big words, so I know those have particular energy. You know what? I'm just gonna go. Okay, so I actually had to go get my book because I'm feeling like the astrological placements are actually important for this one. Where is my page? I should have really organized this a little bit better. Tarot, astrology. So what did we say? The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. What do you mean it's not on my planet? Oh, I was looking at the wrong list. It's growth. Okay, Jupiter is growth. So growth, along with Temperance, which I believe was Sagittarius, I said, which is Sagittarius, which is belief, expansion, and truth. And then the Seven of Swords, it actually has seven deals with your spiritual path. So what did I just say? Growth. Damn it. Growth, expansion, and wisdom. Which is funny because 7 also represents wisdom. So Sagittarius is wisdom. Expansion and belief. So basically, you're growing. The plan is sketchy, but that's because you're constantly growing. So it's like readers or scientists, basically. Every time we discover something, we always have to go back and re-edit it. Because as we grow and we expand, we learn more. So then we realize maybe the plan we had actually was kind of weak. It was a little fruitless. Because we only built the plan based off the knowledge we had at the moment. But now that we're smarter, wiser, and we're growing, now we see, it's kind of like growing out of your pair of pants. You're growing out of your pants and you realize, shit, I need to buy some new pants. I can't fit. Okay. And then my favorite part, running down the board. So we start with completion, using your wisdom, avoiding judgment. I'm not going to say casting judgment because I don't like casting judgment. Avoiding judgment, or possibly casting it. Maybe you're casting it too. Possibly just embodying the energy itself is causing judgment to be casted. You don't actually have to be doing it yourself. It's just standing your own ground ends up casting judgment itself. Sometimes things just happen without even you doing it. Which stands in your own ground, which causes change, transformation, and some crazy shit. And which leads to health and balance. And then we got the Four of Wands, which we said was celebration. Celebration, screw the manipulator. Celebration, weak-ass plan. So let's see. So celebrate with your friends. Well, Knight of Cups also has to deal with bringing. So Knight of Cups is fire of water. So it could be a flare of emotions. So you work through the flare of emotions. I already forgot what the Three of Wands was. Whatever. You get the basis. That's basically, I'm sorry, my phone keeps tilting. I'm using a different phone stand and it's different. It's different. So that concludes this cosmic reading. I hope you actually got something out of it. My obsessive need for perfectionism is causing discomfort. Big words. Big words. Cool. Awesome. Hope you guys got something out of this. I guess you don't really need to watch me clean up, so y'all have a great rest of your day.